Now, there's a real competition going on up here. My good friend Joe, and he is a good friend, he's received contributions from 44 billionaires. Pete, on the other hand, is trailing, Pete. You only got 39 billionaires contributing. So, Pete, we look forward to you. I know you're an energetic guy and a competitive guy to see if you could take on Joe on that issue. But what is not a laughing matter, my friends, this is why 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half. This is why Amazon and other major corporations pay 0 in federal taxes. We need to get money out of politics. We should run our campaigns on that basis.
So again, the topic of money in politics dominated tonight. And while I think Elizabeth Warren did a good job in calling out Pete Buttigieg and his corporate donors, his bundlers, I like the delivery from Bernie Sanders a little better. And there's 2 reasons why. First off, his enthusiasm, and I know some people might not be into it as much as I am, but I like how enthusiastic he is when he's making this argument. Some people think he's yelling. I just think that he actually cares and he's passionate about this topic. Secondly, he gives specific examples, right? So the example of Amazon really hits people hard, even the right wing. When I get into these debates about the welfare state, right? The right wing always loves to talk about these government programs and how people take advantage of them and they abuse them. I always bring up the fact that the real welfare queens are the ones who get these corporate subsidies, they get these massive tax cuts, and I bring up the fact that they likely paid more in federal taxes than Amazon because Amazon paid 0. That's a strong argument that resonates across the board, so I like the way he delivered that message.
People know Bernie Sanders' lines that he goes to. The top certain 5 families have more than the bottom 90%. And we hear it a million times, and then we like it because we understand it. But this is where you kind of tie your arguments together. So I've got these 2 other guys who were having these fundraisers. We've been arguing about fundraising and wine cellars and all this whole time. Let me tell you guys how it all works. This is where that answer was great. I love tying these together because you guys always know when we're listening to something and I hear someone answer a question, I'll say, now finish the thought. He finishes the thought here and he says, us fighting over this, I mean, these 2 guys who are taking these donors and then want to be president, this is the reason why we have these top 3 that have more wealth than everyone else in the country. And you hear, oh man, I keep hearing Bernie say that part, but I didn't realize how it all comes together and how important it is that we don't have someone in office that will allow that to continue to happen. They'll just think, oh, Bernie keeps complaining about billionaires. Why do you hate billionaires, Bernie? Bernie, why do you hate billionaires? Billionaires, why do you hate Bernie billionaires? So it goes back and forth with that instead of putting it square in everyone's face that he's fighting to make sure that doesn't continue. These 2 are not fighting to make sure that doesn't continue. It's not just a talking point, it's reality, and them defending their bundling and their fundraising with these guys is exactly how it will continue.
Yep, you know what? Jayar just convinced me that Bernie's gonna win. No, I'm serious. Hey, you might say, Cenk, come on, you've been saying that for a long time. Not exactly. So I told you that Bernie has a good chance. I've kept telling you that he has a good chance, and I think I've been right about that. But for the first time, I think that I'm gonna put him over the top, where I think it's not a write it down in stone kind of thing. But look at what Jayar is saying. He's constantly talking about how he's for the little guy. And the thing that sticks in your head is this, and it doesn't matter what the stat is, the actual stat that Bernie often uses, and he does mix it up every once in a while, but he said tonight is the 3 wealthiest people in the country have the same amount of money or more money than the bottom 50% of America. And it doesn't matter if you think it's 3 people, 5 people, or 6 people, and it doesn't matter what the percentage, it just, everybody knows Bernie's for the little guy. And now that when he points out, hey, Joe, you raised money from 44 billionaires, and Pete, you raised it from 39 billionaires. Everybody knows those are the wine cave guys. When they go to that voting booth, they ain't voting for the wine cave guy. They just aren't. They're not gonna vote for the pro-billionaire guy. They're gonna vote for the guy who's for the average American worker. And that has been drilled into their head. By the way, this is a huge advantage for Bernie in 2016 and now again in 2020. So he has a giant advantage that the mainstream media cannot see, because they're not an average American worker, they're in the millionaire class. So they're deeply sympathetic to Pete Buttigieg and cannot empathize with the rest of us.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.